I'm Chris Schneider with the Lake Area High School Basketball Show, brought to you by COMC, Surdike, Yamaha, and Hy-Vee, Lake of the Ozarks. We'll be talking with Camdenton Lakers basketball coach Craig Campbell right after this. So welcome to the Lake Area High School Basketball Coaches Show. We are talking with Camdenton Lakers head coach Craig Campbell. So coach, we're getting into the season now. It's been a weird year all the way around from beginning to end. Has the whole COVID situation affected how you got ready for the season?
Absolutely. Yeah. If it hasn't, then they're lying. This year has been different than years past because kids are getting quarantined, you lose them for a couple weeks. Others are not at school because they're distance learning, so being able to get information out to kids is a little bit harder. Using all the different coaching apps like the Remind 101 has been very, very beneficial, and so using that has been how we've been able to keep things kind of running. As far as here at the lake, it's not been as bad as other places. We've been able to still meet as a team. We've been able to get in and do some preseason stuff, a lot of morning workouts and stuff after school, and that's been normal. But
as normal as it can
yes,
be, right?
as normal as it can be. But as far as knowing if you're going to have everybody every time, that's been the big question mark is how that's going. So.
Absolutely, and that's probably the case for everybody. It's football certainly, and basketball and everything. So this, how long have you been at Camdenton?
This is my fourth year at Camdenton.
Fourth year, and you've seen some ups and downs. A couple years ago, you guys had a great season, more success than the Lakers program's seen in a long time. Last year, had a lot of struggles, so you've kind of hit the valleys and the mountains.
Yes. I've experienced both of them since I've been here at Camdenton. The two years ago, that team had a bunch of seniors that bought in and wanted to win and have a good year, and they did. I mean, we went 17-12, which was the best record Camdenton had in probably a decade. Won a district title, first time in 37 years. So it was one of those that was definitely a high point that year. And then last year we dealt with a lot of injuries and a lot of eligibility issues with guys that should have been varsity. And then so we had a lot of guys that really probably shouldn't have been playing varsity, having to play varsity. And that should pay off this year because of the experience they gained last year.
Yeah. So what are you expecting this year? Are you expecting a nice leap forward, or is it kind of tough to tell at this point?
I think it's kind of tough to tell. I think this year, like you said, alluded to at the beginning, it's kind of a weird year. The guys I have, they work their tails off. I mean, they have been, and they bought into the hard work is going to lead to success. But who knows who we end up playing? I mean, whether we end up playing our normal schedule or if we end up having to find some other games, and that might dictate some of how it goes, because we end up playing a team like Kickapoo 4 times. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to have as much success as we probably could, but at the same time, I would meet that challenge head on. I'd be excited to be able to do that and show them that we're capable of hanging with them. So.
Absolutely. And we'll talk about the Ozark Conference coming up in just a couple of seconds. We are talking with Camdenton Lakers head basketball coach Craig Campbell. This is your Lake Area High School Basketball Coaches Show right here on Lake TV. We'll be right back right after this. What is COMC? A health center where everyone has access to high-quality, affordable medical, dental, and behavioral health care, regardless of insurance or ability to pay. Offering primary care, preventative, chronic, pediatrics, and OBGYN. COMC even offers comprehensive dental and same-day emergency care. A health center that focuses on every aspect of your health. Everything your family needs to stay healthy. At COMC, your health is our mission. Your time on the water is limited, and Hy-Vee in Osage Beach knows it. Let us do the shopping so you can maximize your lake time. With our Aisles online app, you can have your groceries delivered or ready for contactless pickup when you arrive to the lake. With all your grilling favorites, snacks, fresh produce, and home to the lake's largest wine, spirits, and beer department, your weekend at the lake starts with Hy-Vee in Osage Beach, where you'll find a helpful smile in every aisle.
with a nimble ride and an affordable price, owning an EX Series Wave Runner from Yamaha is a breeze. In fact, the hardest part about owning one is sharing. The incredibly reliable and unstoppably fun 2020 EX Series from Yamaha.
Visit Surdyke Yamaha today in Osage Beach.
You ride on a reputation.
Welcome back to the Lake Area High School Basketball Coaches Show. We are talking with Camdenton Lakers head basketball coach Craig Campbell. So Craig, we've talked about COVID a little bit, trying to get ready for this season. That is certainly a challenge. You're hoping for a step forward from last year. Struggled a lot last year. Who are going to be your team leaders this year?
We got a group of seniors that have been in the program for 4 years that have really taken that leadership role on. You got Joel Mason, who was a starter all year last year, and then Tony Glenn, who's had some ups and downs his whole high school career, but has kind of put it together since about halfway last year to now, and really wants to have a good senior year. He started some last year. Parker Garrett started some last year. So those three kind of be with the most experience. But honestly, two of our leaders will probably end up being Cody Hendricks and Braden Blackman. Playing time may not be as much as some of the other guys, but they want to have a good year. They want to, and they're hard workers and push guys to be better, even if it means they may not get to play as much. They get after guys in practice and make them better, and that has also helped them improve.
Yeah.
But those five seniors will be kind of the guys that will kind of lead the program this year. Then we got a bunch of sophomores and a junior and a couple, and one senior transfer that'll definitely make some noise too.
Nice.
So.
I remember when we did Camdenton Lakers game last year, it seemed like you had some pretty good young talent that was coming up. So that's nice for the future of the program.
Yes, and that young, like I said, that younger talent really wasn't quite ready for varsity last year, but kind of got thrown to the wolves, and they did a good job treading water and keeping going and not just completely collapsing. And they're going to be looked at taking the next step this year and being real contributors and not just role players. So as long as those guys don't get overwhelmed with that we should be able to take that next step.
This is your Lake Area High School Basketball Coaches Show. Camdenton Lakers head coach Craig Campbell, brought to you by COMC, Hy-Vee Lake of the Ozarks, and Surdyke Yamaha. So how is the Ozark Conference looking this year? I mean, you have your traditional powers. Is that kind of the same this year?
Yes and no. I mean, Kickapoo obviously is the team everybody's talking about just because they've got 3 Division I signees already, and probably one more will go Division I with a couple Division IIs there. So they're pretty stacked. But in reality, the rest of the conference it's not a full top side and lower side like it has been in the past. I think every given night, any team could beat any of them, and so I think it'll be very, very much Kickapoo followed by the rest. Is kind of how everybody sees it.
Right.
But when you have that kind of talent, it can sometimes lead to some issues. So I'm hoping we can sneak up and maybe get one there too.
That'd be nice.
And it would be real nice to be able to beat Kickapoo because Camdenton's never done it.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be a nice little
and here's
feather
the school,
in the cap,
and so that would be one of those that this year nobody even gives us a chance against them and be able to pull that off. So
absolutely,
that would be real nice. And then
makes for a nice conference battle if you got that equality going there.
Yes, and that's where the last year and the year before you could kind of see where the conference was getting more where teams outside of Springfield were in the mix for the championship. I mean, West Plains 2 years ago won it, and then tied with Kickapoo, and then last year you had Rolla and Waynesville and Lebanon all kind of battling up at the top with them, and so you never know. I mean, that's why you play basketball and sports in general is the underdog. If they come out and play a good game, they can upset the top dog, and if you look at it on paper, there's no reason they should.
Yeah,
So.
well, hopefully we'll get that from the Lakers this
Absolutely.
year. All right, so we are Thanksgiving time, so I've got some fun questions for you.
Right.
So we get to know Camdenton Lakers coach Craig Campbell a little bit better. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. Would you rather rake leaves or shovel snow?
Shovel snow.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite holiday?
Probably 4th of July, 'cause my
Yeah.
birthday's the next day. So.
Well, there you go.
Lot
See,
stuff
most
going on.
people say Thanksgiving or Christmas, so we got a 4th of July. Your favorite holiday food?
Ooh, pumpkin pie.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not 4th of July, man.
I know. I can eat pumpkin pie any time of the year.
You'd hammer a turkey guy.
Probably turkey.
Yeah.
More turkey.
Dark meat, white meat?
Just depends on the mood. Dark meat usually. But,
Yeah, me too there. Yeah, a lot more flavor there.
Yep.
What are you most thankful for this year?
Probably my family and just being able to go to work and have a job. I mean, I know a lot of people can't say that right now. So.
Yeah.
But my wife and son and soon to be, we got another one coming in April. So.
Wow.
So it's that's probably my most thankful thing, and then being able to provide for them.
Wow, you're going to be a busy guy. Any traditions, Thanksgiving traditions that your family does?
Yes and no. We usually play a card game at my mom's side called Nerds. It's a fast-paced solitaire type game, and it's a tradition. The fact that it usually ends up with some people mad.
Okay, well there you go. Competition, right?
The competitive side coming out, and then on my dad's side, we always go down to my uncle's farm. He's got a farm down in Arkansas, and spend just some time on the farm with all of them. So those are kind of the two traditions that I enjoy the most around Thanksgiving time. So.
Holiday movies or holiday sports?
Sports.
There you go.
Sports.
Absolutely. So he is Craig Campbell, head basketball coach of the Camdenton Lakers. This is your Lake Area High School Basketball Coaches Show, brought to you by COMC, Sir Dyke Yamaha, and Hy-Vee, Lake of the Ozarks.